It was back in 1891 when miners Richard Thompson and William McCormick discovered the Mother Lode mine of copper, gold, and silver in Deadwood, British Columbia, just 3 kilometers of what will soon be known as Greenwood. In 1895, a merchant named Robert Wood erected a log store and named the region Greenwood, as it stands today. By 1896, there were 3 hotels, a general store, stable, mining broker, an opera house, and dozens of other establishments being put up every day. Greenwood became incorporated as a city on July 12, 1897, and the BC Copper Company smelter was built in 1901 and brought cash flow to the city. That giant smelter still stands there today and brings in lots of tourists. Greenwood's population soared to 3,000 by 1899, and a railway called the Columbia and Western Railway reached Greenwood from the east. Fire broke out in Greenwood. As per the August 5th, 1899 edition of the Boundary Creek Times, it describes a serious fire between 2 and 3 o'clock. Officer Lauder discovered the fire underneath Hinton's barbershop in the Pacific block of Copper Street. It is also stated that several buildings were destroyed in the fire, including the Pacific Hotel, the Windsor Hotel, Hinton's barbershop, and Henry Suave's store. Cause of fire is said to be the work of an incendiary. Greenwood acted as the main supply line for previous mine sites like Phoenix, Deadwood, Skylark, along with many other little ghost towns. The surrounding mines had brought wealth-hungry miners from all walks of life, but unfortunately, the mining boom was short-lived. After the First World War, the copper prices took a nosedive and all the mines dried up, as did the city of Greenwood, and eventually the population left for greener pastures. On April 26, 1942, Greenwood became the site of Canada's first forced internment camp for the Japanese Canadians. Greenwood, which was basically a ghost town at this time, gained a population of 1,200 Japanese Canadians. These Japanese Canadians called vacant rundown buildings and hotels their homes at this point. In 1946, the Japanese were allowed to leave to Ontario, Quebec, and Japan. In 1949, they were allowed to return back home to the West Coast. Some of the Japanese stayed here, and their descendants now call Greenwood home. A notable mention of these internment camps is NHL player Paul Kariya's father was born in the Greenwood Japanese internment camp. Lastly, we talk about the infamous American outlaw John Jarrett, who decided to call Greenwood his final home. While much about him is a mystery, it is known that he fought alongside the Confederate Army in the early 1860s during the American Civil War and was the captain of the 12th Missouri Cavalry under General J.O. Shelby. In 1864, John traveled to Victoria, British Columbia with a party on behalf of the Confederate States on a secret mission to purchase 2 schooners. By the time he had reached Victoria, the Civil War was over. In the mid-1860s, he became a member of the James Younger Gang and was known to commit bank robberies, train heists, stagecoach holdups, and other outlaw duties. It was on September 6, 1875, after robbing the Bank of Huntington in West Virginia, when John decided to move him and his family out west and then into Canada. Jarrett arrived in Greenwood around 1891 and became a prospector and lived a modest, normal life. He died on April 20th, 1906 of tuberculosis in the Greenwood Sisters Hospital.
Let's do it.